All right, it is time to talk horse racing once again with Chad Summers. We promised we were going to hook up with Chad after his trip to Dubai, and that's exactly where he is right now. So if the signal isn't 100%, well, deal with it. How's it going, Chad?
Oh, everything's good. Everything's good. Starting to get a little tired, but everything is good. Saw the our first day of horses training on the track. We saw the 2-year-olds at the breeze show. They'll breeze tomorrow, and look, everything's coming together. There's not a full on buzz yet, but we have the draws for some of the undercard races, including the UAE Derby, and it's shaping up to be a great card. Headlined, of course, Saturday night with Life is Good versus Midnight Bourbon versus some of the local contingency over here, and the head local horse that's also one of our own, Hot Rod Charlie. So should be a great race. Hot Rod Charlie looked amazing this morning, absolutely amazing. Look, Life is Good is going to be a heavy favorite, especially in the American pools when they open up. I would imagine you'll see something like 4-5 on Life is Good.
Wow.
You'll probably something between 5-2 to 7-2 on Hot Rod Charlie, and if today was any indication, I'm in Team Chuck. I think Hot Rod Charlie could pull off the upset here.
Okay. And so those are the top three horses, including Midnight Bourbon. Okay.
Yes.
And Life is Good. We haven't talked much about Life is Good on this show or even with John. So talk a little bit more about what makes Life is Good such a good horse.
So really, the only way Life is Good can get beat is by
Okay.
Life is Good, right? His races are so brilliant. Every time he goes to post, he is the consummate heavy favorite. When he ran last time in the Pegasus, everyone thought it was going to be a showdown between him and Next Go, and it wasn't. The race was over in about 50
right.
yards. He was just he's brilliantly fast, and he's a horse that can stretch out his. They make myths about that, and it's why Todd Pletcher's on a plane right now on his way to Dubai, even though he hasn't been here in years, and he's got so many Derby horses to prepare and get ready. He's got one running this weekend in the Louisiana Derby, but he's here because he knows how special Life is Good is and can be. This was a horse that was on the Derby trail last year with trainer Bob Baffert. Chipped an ankle, needed time off, and since then came into the barn of Todd Pletcher and has really never done anything wrong. His one loss when he lost in the H. Allen Jerkin Stakes at Saratoga behind Jackie's Warrior, and the two of them put on a battle like none other. Since then, he's just continued to just absolutely demolish every field that he's faced, and he will be the deserving favorite on Saturday. But he's never gone a mile and a quarter before. He's going to run under the lights. In his races, he has a tendency to lug out. Now, a lot of times it doesn't matter because he's in front by so much that it doesn't make a difference. But Hot Rod Charlie's a proven horse. He's won over this track already. He's a very talented 4-year-old. He put on weight. He puts on muscle. He looks like a totally different horse than we saw in the Triple Crown races last year, when of course he almost beat Eccentric Quality in the Belmont Stakes in another great race where he did all the dirty work in front. And it should be a night that we won't soon forget. We're going to see something special here on Saturday night.
And what's the name of that race?
That's the Dubai World Cup, $12 million Dubai World Cup.
Dubai World. So the Dubai. Okay, and that is for what? What are the age of the horses?
That's 4-year-olds and up.
And yeah,
4-year-olds and up. On the undercard, we're going to see the UAE Derby.
UAE Derby is the undercard. You got to love that.
It's a grade 2, but it is a 100-point race. So the second place finisher, it certainly looks like right now, if you have 50 points, you're definitely in the Derby. So I would say the winner and the second place finisher will both be assured a spot in the starting gate if they qualify. Because now, again, last Derby preps, you have situations. Bob Baffert has a horse in here in Pinehurst who is still not eligible for any points. And you have a couple-year-olds in here from Uruguay and Argentina that, again, they qualify because their birthday has not yet happened. They were born in August and September, but they don't qualify for our Kentucky Derby because technically They were born in 2018, which makes them 4-year-olds on a calendar year. So if any of those horses were to win or run second, they would not be eligible for the points.
How
And
many
as
of those
far
horses?
as I know, there's
3
of those
okay.
horses. 3, and there's actually a filly in the race too that ran second behind the horse that was on our Derby pole for a while, Shamala. She ran second. She's still a maiden, daughter of Mastery. Nice little filly. She gets about a 12-pound weight break from the 4-year-olds than what she has to ride with.
Is that the filly that you talked about a few weeks ago?
She ran second to her. She ran second.
Okay.
So her name is Gazelles.
Okay.
It's named after the owner, Jim Hay, his wife and their friends. They like to drive Ferraris and Maseratis and fast cars, and so this one is named after them.
Yes.
They call themselves the Gazelles.
Okay.
So he named it after them. So she'll run all day. I don't know that she'll win, but she will run all day. But I'll send you the link. You can put it on the bottom of the comment section or whatever. People can tune in, and we're going to be broadcasting live all week long. But headline by Saturday. We'll be on all day, all morning over there in the States. I think we go on at 2:00 Eastern time here, which is 8 hours earlier on the East Coast. So it'll be quite early. It'll be 6 a.m. Our cover to start the first race will be 7:30 Eastern time, and then we'll just kind of roll them out throughout the rest of the day. Unbelievable card, though. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, and what time, Eastern time, are we looking at for both of those big races?
So the UAE Derby, I think, is race 4 or 5. So that's basically about every 5.
Oh, your audio is now dropping out.
Oh,
yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay, so that race will be between 4:30 and 5 our time, which will make it over there about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
In the morning.
And then the big race will be in the morning, and the big race will be about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So you wake up, have some breakfast with us, and enjoy the races before diverting your attention to fairgrounds.
And that's Saturday morning.
What's that?
That's Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have your, enjoy your breakfast. Watch the races alongside of us, and then turn your attention to the Louisiana Derby card as we get our second 100-point race underway.
That's right.
Featuring, of course, Epicenter as the heavy morning line favorite. Look, I mean, obviously he's the deserving favorite, but wow, I didn't think the second choice would be like 6-1. That was surprising.
And who is this? Epicenter. Okay, so Epicenter is the heavy favorite in the Louisiana Derby.
Was number one. Yeah, was number one on the points list for a while. He's won his last 2 races. He's done nothing wrong. Done it on the front end. And look, to me, it speaks volumes when jockeys and trainers stay home. Midnight Bourbon's over here running for $12 million. Steve Asmussen also has 2 other horses on the undercard, but he stays home in fairgrounds to tighten the girth on Epicenter and Echo Zulu, a name that many people might have forgotten about. She was the brilliant 2-year-old filly daughter of Gunrunner last year that was undefeated. I mean, had just a brilliant campaign last year. We haven't seen her. She's back now. And this will be her one start prior to a run of six. In the future wagers in Vegas, at one time, I think she was 15 or 20 to 1. She was one of the favorites for the Derby, but never really went on the trail.
Okay, so again, right now, Epicenter's the heavy favorite of the Louisiana Derby. Call Me Midnight. And what, Rattle and Roll, by the way.
Who beat Epicenter the last time the two of them met up in the Lecomte Stakes? It was a long time ago. But Epicenter came back and did what he did. And Call Me Midnight sat on the sidelines and stayed fresh. So, look, everybody has a different way of getting to the Derby. Everybody's goal is the same, to win the Derby. So we'll see whose strategy is best come Saturday between Steve Asmussen and Keith DeSormo, who both of them very good horsemen in their own rights, and they've been doing
Rattle
this for
and
a
Roll,
long time.
Previously in your poll, is also going to be in the Louisiana Derby, as will
And he's back quick. Look, Rattle and Roll's back in 3 weeks off a disappointing effort in the Fountain of Youth. Obviously, the race was marred with the spill at the top of the stretch. It cost 2 horses to go down. He was kind of in the back of the pack. I don't think he was necessarily cranked up for it. He looked like he was carrying a little bit of some extra girth in the post parade. But this has been Kenny's plan all along. It was to run him in the Fountain of Youth and come back quickly in 3 weeks to go a mile and 3/16. This is the longest. This one and the UAE Derby are the longest of the prep races for the Kentucky Derby. All the other ones we'll see, they'll be a mile and an eighth. This will be the only one that's longer than a mile and an eighth, which it's half distance between the Derby and the mile and eighth. It's a mile and 3/16. So this is the distance of the Preakness. But these are your stayers. These are the horses that are in this race. They're horses that you think won't have a problem getting a distance of growth.
Also, Pioneer of Medina is let's see, you got Pioneer of Medina. You have Zozos, Kupuna, and Galt. Those are the other contenders, top contenders.
Yeah, so Galt was the horse that fell down, unfortunately. That's Songbird's brother, the brilliant race mare, and was so good winning his maiden race. But unfortunately, he tripped over his stablemate in the Fountain of Youth. Owner Larry Best of OXO Equine told me, the horse didn't really get a chance to run his race. Seemed to come out of the race unscathed. And so they want to move forward and take a chance. And, he's put up a lot of money in this game to try and chase the Kentucky Derby dream. He's had some nice horses. He ran fourth in the race previously in the Derby with his first Derby starter a few years ago. So it's just one of those things where I don't blame him for giving. When you talk about Pioneer Medina, he's a horse who seems to like fairgrounds. He won an allowance race over there in January, came back last time, and ran what some people call a sneaky good fourth. I thought he was just fourth best. Now, look, Smile Happy and Zendon are 1-2 on a lot of people's lists, and Epicenter's in the top 5. So if you're going to lose to 3 horses on the Derby Trail, maybe that's who you want to lose to. But to me, he was always fourth best on that day, and he's going to have to take a step forward. And the mystery box is Zozos. Zozos, the son of Brad Cox, lightly raced. Won first time out, was very, very green the day after the Lecomte. Really needed help from the horse in front of him to stop for him to get up. And then, as green as he was the first race, went to Oaklawn and crushed the field 10 lengths. Really took a big move forward. And now is going to dance with the big boys, but this will be his first race against stakes horses, and there's quality stakes horses. So Zozos, while he has immense raw talent, it's going to be interesting to see how he runs, and if Brad Cox will be rewarded for taking him from Oaklawn and sending him back to fairgrounds after he was so good in Oaklawn last
And by
time.
the way, speaking of Brad Cox, Cyberknife will be running in the Arkansas Derby in a couple of weeks. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So we finally get to see Cyberknife again. Your number one pick for the Kentucky Derby as of today. And that could change, of course, because we have some big races coming up here over the next 2 weeks.
The next 3 weeks, really. I mean, look, this week we have the UAE Derby and we have the Louisiana Derby. Next week, we have races like the Arkansas Derby, the Jeff Ruby, which is going to bring a horse into the Derby, whether it's right or wrong.
Yep.
It's one of those races that the winner's going to automatically have a spot, even if it's a horse like Tiz the Bomb for Kenny McPeak, who clearly appears to be a grass horse. The dirt race was no good in Florida, but came back and won the prep impressively for the Jeff Ruby on the poly track. And then you have April 9th, you have races like the Bluegrass, the Wood, Sprinkle in the Santa Anita Derby, the Sunland Park Derby.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes, of course. Yes.
You can backdoor qualify a horse that was on our list for a little while. Slow Down Andy is pointing for that race over there. And that's one I think he can win and move forward and qualify for the Derby for the ever dangerous Doug O'Neill barn, who has 2 Kentucky Derby mantles hanging on his house. So, can never be counted out. He's got a horse here in Dubai running in the UAE Derby named Get Back Goldie that Irad Ortiz Jr. has picked up the mount. And they're quietly confident that he's going to run a big race on Saturday as well.
Yes, 7 of the 8 big races with 100 points. You just mentioned most of them, if not all of them, and you also mentioned the Jeff Ruby Stakes, which is the other race with 100 points. Why is the Jeff Ruby Stakes? What's the deal there? Why do they get 100 points? And what's the knock on that race?
So, I mean, look, the track now is owned by Churchill Downs,
Okay.
so it's a way of kind of self-promoting their own track by
right.
having out of there. They've had a winner come out of there before in Animal Kingdom. He ran there and then came on and win the Kentucky Derby. So it's not a land of no winners. I mean, there's actually been a more recent winner in a prep race at Turfway than we've had at Aqueduct, for whatever that's worth. Ironically enough. I mean, you have to go back to maybe 2001 and Monarchos, and he lost the Wood to find the winner of the Wood, that ran in the Wood before the Derby. So it's just the way it goes. The knock on it is it's not dirt. It's not conventional dirt. It's a poly track surface that tends to favor horses that like the turf, horses that can handle the track. Some horses don't handle the track. So, it's a difficult track, because not everybody who's a dirt horse is going to like it. And if you roll the dice in that race and you're wrong, you kind of shot your shot. And it's almost like you're down by one and you take a 3 instead of a 2. Right? You only need 2 points to win, but you take the half court shot and there's still 3 seconds left on the clock. So a lot of times you don't see dirt horses over there. You see turf horses in there, and then they have a decision to make. And a lot of times the desire of running in the Derby outweighs maybe the horse probably doesn't like the dirt or not. That being said, we're also going to run Jonathan's horse that day in the Bourbon Stakes, and hopefully she likes that track. And if we win, we that's our self-righteous prophecy that we can say that it shouldn't be a Derby qualifier, but we definitely want it to be an Oaks qualifier.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that when John told me that he was going to have the race on one of those surfaces on the synthetics, because I know how much John hates that surface. So I thought it was kind of poetic that his horse was going to have to run on that surface in order to qualify for the Oaks. So,
well, if it's going to be poetic, it might as well be champagne poetry.
Yes, absolutely. and if Champagne Poetry can actually go out there and win and get into the Kentucky Oaks, then she's got a chance, no doubt, because she's a tough little horse.
Here's the thing, okay? You're in North Carolina. You're not forever away from Kentucky. If she wins and qualifies for the Oaks, I think we have to do the Derby preview show with me, you, and Jonathan live from Louisville, Kentucky.
You get me inside the Kentucky Derby, and I'm there.
I think if she were to win, then I think we gotta bring the gang together and really do it up on the first Friday and Saturday of May.
Just imagine how absolutely hilarious that would be for us to sit there with John hours before his horse races in the biggest race of his career and her career, of course. But that would be quite comical. We could get a lot of good air on that one. So.
Oh, absolutely. But
awesome.
First things first, as the great Norman Dale, the coach of Hoosiers, has said, we take it one game at a time.
Yes, that's right. Yes, and fingers crossed. Okay, so again, your schedule, because I'm not going to keep you because I know you're real busy. Your schedule this week, and you're going to provide the link to us. So we're going to put the link of where you can check out all of your coverage. And you're going to be on, you said every day?
A bunch of them. We got you just tune in and
you'll pop
and
up.
We'll see. We got the they got the. I'm doing the breakfast show tomorrow. Then we have the Live Breeze preview show. We have the post vision draw tomorrow night. We'll have shows on throughout the course of the week, previewing all the races, and then of course on Saturday we'll be live 2 p.m. to basically 9:30 our time.
Your time.
So
yes.
that'll be 6:30 until like 2:00 your time. And no commercial breaks. We're on for about 8 hours straight.
That's going to be entertaining. So as far as the link, is it free? Okay, so if anybody,
Yes.
do you have
everything.
a web address that you could just?
Yes.
Do you know what it is
Yes.
offhand? Okay, that's okay.
No.
We'll provide the
It's a
link.
lot of vowels.
That's all that
It's
matters.
a lot of vowels. There's
Oh,
some
okay.
vowels. There's some
That's okay.
numbers. There might be a nine.
Okay.
There might be a niner in there, but
All right.
it's all good.
We'll check you out every day or a few times during the week for sure, especially on race day on Saturday. So that should be a lot of fun. And that means you're going to have picks for every race?
Yeah, we'll have picks for every race, and we'll have. I want to hear from the fans. They were pretty good when we asked them their Derby picks. But let's see if they have a Dubai World Cup pick. Circulating this week, who they like in the Dubai World Cup.
Yeah, and I have to see if I can get a pick out of John as well, because I know he's a Dubai World Cup aficionado. So
he is. Yeah. He is.
So we'll get a pick out of John on Friday's show. Obviously, the Louisiana Derby will be a big race for us to talk about as well. And then, like you said, things get really heated up over the next few weeks when we have a smorgasbord of Kentucky Derby prep races. And then it gets quiet for a few weeks before the Derby. So I will talk to you again when you return. Are you traveling on Sunday?
Travel on Sunday. I lost most of last Sunday. I left Saturday at 10:30 and I landed Sunday at 7:30 p.m. So didn't have much of a Sunday, but I'll get most of it back this weekend. I'll leave at 8:30 in the morning here, and I'll get back there about 2 o'clock in the 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll be back on Sunday, and we'll be good to go for hopefully a great Monday show.
Sounds good. Can't wait. Chad, appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule over there. Best of luck the rest of the week. Look at that. Look at that skyline. I like it.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. It's,
living the life.
Maidan.
No.
When the lights come on, it's like Yankee Stadium. They're so
no
bright.
Camels though, huh?
No, there's some camels. They have camel racing, and I've ridden a camel once or twice before. It's the thing with the camels is when you get back to the yard when you're done with the trail ride, they know where their home is, and they just go. They
don't wait for you to get off.
They go down on the ground. They do not wait, and it's very uncomfortable. And there's certain terminology that I can't use on the air that certainly
sure, why not?
when they do that.
I wish you would. All right, Chad. Appreciate it. Great job. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Sounds good, Greg. All right,
Take care.
Bye-bye.